Greetings, this is the Mad Hermit with you once again for another poetry reading installment. Today we're going to read something from our good old friend, Robert Frost. The poem we're going to read is To the Thawing Wind. To the Thawing Wind. Come with rain, O loud southwester, bring the singer, bring the nester, give the buried flower a dream, make the settled snowbank steam. Find the brown beneath the white, but whatever you do tonight, bathe my window, make it flow, melt it as the ices go. Melt the glass and leave the sticks like a hermit's crucifix. Burst into my narrow stall, swing the picture on the wall. Run the rattling pages over, scatter poems on the floor, turn the poet out of door. Now this is a very short poem, a very almost whimsical poem by Robert Frost, and lots of English professors and English majors such as myself would tend to add more meaning to this poem than it really has meaning. But basically, not to disappoint those of you who were expecting a very deep and profound articulation and interpretation of this poem, but basically the poet, the speaker, is simply saying this: I'm addressing the thawing wind to transform the outside landscape beyond my humble abode from a winter landscape into something more desirable, so that ultimately, in that effect, this wind can bring me outside to live my life. In more layman's terms, or blunt terms, he's basically saying this: I've been cooped up in my little house for most of the season writing these poems, and gosh, do I need a break. And please give me a break and drive me out of my humble abode to the outside world so I can live life, because I am a human being. It's a very simple theme, and it's a very important and relevant theme today, because we as humans have the funny tendency to treat things or to make things more important than people. We tend to make money more important than people. Tend to make our jobs more important than people. We tend to make our reputation more important than people, whether it be loved ones, family, or just the people around us. And sometimes we get that to an extent that we forget that we're human beings. People around us are human beings. Our family are human beings. And you know what? Human beings are far more important than things. Well, besides God. But I digress. And this also goes out to an even further macroscopic theme, which obviously I don't think Robert Frost was intending, but also points out one thing that we also tend to do as humans. We as humans tend to make other humans more important than other humans. I know it's using the word humans redundantly, but the thing is, in the society that we live in, especially when you have politicians, celebrities, movie stars, people tend to have the habit of placing them on pedestals, treating them like they're more than human when they're not. We tend to make people gods sometimes. We tend to see people as being more important than other people, namely ourselves, and that's not in the context of maybe seeing your boss as being more important than company, because in a way they're more important in terms of the responsibilities they have within a company that they work in, but in terms of intrinsic value. We're human. The celebrities and movie stars, they're human too. Politicians are human beings. And the fact goes that they're just as valuable as we are. We're just as valuable as they are, for the fact that we are all human beings. And in a sense, when we deify other people, put them higher, in a sense we are putting ourselves lower. We don't need to do that. And that has a tendency to cause problems for us. And this fact is very true, especially in a culture, well, at least in America at least, or maybe in certain countries, where we even have shows called American Idol. I mean, it's called American Idol, for heaven's sake. I think I don't need to try to explain that any further. But the fact is, we're all humans. And this can relate to the poem, To the Thawing Wind, in the sense that here you have the poet, the speaker of the poem, in the beginning, in the first few lines, using all these eloquent words, all these fancy words, or at least a fancy rhyme scheme, no doubt to portray himself as being well educated, well articulate. But in the end, he basically ends the poem like this. Yes, I'm a poet. Yes, I'm good with words, and no doubt I published this poem. And yes, I no doubt write poems, and they're probably good poems, but you know what? I'm a human being. I need to get out. I need to be a human being. I need a break. So, the message is simple, but it's steep, and we shouldn't deny that. And for all of you who want to explore this poem any further, I have included the entire poem beneath this video blog entry in my personal blog, The Mad Hermit. And for those of you who want to comment, feel free to comment. And this has been The Mad Hermit. I am signing off. Happy reading.